Hello, this lesson is about writing your very first Java typed method. You know the program that we are busy with. It asks the user to enter a value between 1 and 10, which is stored in table, and table at this stage is a global variable, and then we print the times table for that value. In this program we've made use of a void method to actually produce and print that table. So here's my public static void method, make table, and it runs from 1 to 12 and it prints the times table for that specific value that we read in from the user. Now we are using methods that we write ourselves in order to take some code out of the main method and put them into separate methods that we can merely then call. And this is a good example. There's the void method make table, and I'm merely calling it with one line of code, and it produces the whole times table as many times as I call it over there. In this case I've called it once, so the whole times table is printed only once. So I've already written a typed method in our program here, and I'm going to scroll down to it now. It is called heading, and there are two brackets afterwards with nothing in between at the moment because I'm not sending any parameters or any values into this typed method. Notice that it's also public static, but it has a method or a data type. So string instead of void indicates that heading is a typed method and it's of type string. So it could have been an integer method or some other data type, and those will all be typed methods. So what happens in this typed method? Well, if I start at the bottom, you can see that I'm returning the temporary variable that I've created within this method. And when I return it, everything in temp is returned to the calling statement, and that's my calling statement, system.out.println heading. That's the name of my typed method. So that heading returns everything that the return statement is assigned to, and in this case it's assigned temp, and temp is a build up of the whole heading. You can see how we do that over here. So when you write your own type methods, you have to start out by saying public static and the data type, int or string or whatever it is, and the name of the method with two brackets. You declare any local variables that you might need inside this method, and then you assign values to a variable that you're going to return down below here, and that return word is a reserved word, and that's what you must use in order to send a value that you've calculated or that you've produced inside my typed method back to the calling statement. So the calling statement in this case is in my main method, and there it is, system.out.println heading. So this is the way we call a typed method. We use it as we would a variable. System.out.println heading with the two brackets. And whenever that is called, this whole method is executed. Let's run this and see what it does. So the program is running, and you can see that a heading is displayed. This is one of our typed methods. Enter a number between 1 and 10. Let's enter 5 and click on OK and see what happens. I'm going to scroll up so that we can see right from the top what happens. And you can see that the heading has been displayed twice, and after that the whole times table is displayed. So why would my heading be displayed twice? Let's go and look at our code. Our code runs from there right down, so this displays the heading. And then system.out.println heading also displays the heading. So if I want this heading only to be displayed once, I must remove either this line or those three lines. Now the lesson is about typed method, so let's rather remove these two, these three, and now if I run this program, it should display the heading only once. So it comes up and asks me for a value. I'm going to put in 5. It produces some output. If I scroll up, I can see I have one heading and the times table. Where does the times table come from? The times table comes from our void method, make table. And in our main program, or in our main method, I have only 2 lines of code. System.out.println heading, that's the type method, and make table, that's the void method. Can you see the difference in the way we call typed methods? We use this one as a variable, but this one we call on its own line with a semicolon at the end.